Today, we will talk about the concept of M3 in finance. M3 is a measure of the money supply that includes M2 as well as large time deposits, institutional money market funds, short-term repurchase agreements, and larger liquid assets. It's a way to understand the entire money supply within an economy, focusing on money as a store of value rather than just a medium of exchange. It includes less liquid assets, which are not easily convertible to cash, so they are not ready to use if needed right away. The money supply has many classifications of liquidity, and M3 is the broadest measure of an economy's money supply. It was traditionally used by economists to estimate the entire money supply within an economy, and by central banks to control inflation, consumption, growth, and liquidity over medium and long-term periods. To determine M3, each M3 component is given equal weight during calculation, without any adjustments. However, this equal weighting assumes that each component of M3 affects the economy in the same way, which is not the case in the actual economy. Since 2006, M3 is no longer tracked by the U.S. Central Bank, the Federal Reserve. Even before that, primarily in the 1980s, the Fed only focused on M2 to guide policy. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis and some other sources still publish M3 figures for economic data purposes. M3 can be thought of as a congregation of all the other classifications of money plus all of the less liquid components of the money supply. M0 refers to the currency in circulation, M1 includes M0 and demand deposits, and M2 includes all of M1 plus savings deposits and certificates of deposit. M3 includes all of M2 but adds the least liquid components of the money supply that are not in circulation, such as repurchase agreements that do not mature for days or weeks. M3 is a classification of money that includes all other classifications, M0, M1, and M2, and other components of the money supply. The Fed ceased its publication in 2006, however, it is still printed for historical comparisons by other sources. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. M3 is a measure of the money supply that includes M2 money as well as other components. It is closely associated with larger financial institutions and corporations than with small businesses and individuals. 2. M3 was traditionally used by economists to estimate the entire money supply within an economy and by governments to direct policy and control inflation over medium and long-term periods. 3. Since 2006, the Fed has stopped publishing the M3 money aggregate, but other sources continue to publish the figures. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.